Welcome to our first ever in-person interview with Joseph Serpa of the Kitchener Rangers.
Hey.
So it's just a one-on-one today, me and Serps. Thanks to NLPT for letting us use their facility. Obviously, me and Serps are lifting right after, so it was really awesome just to get here. I got the new merch on. Make sure to check it out. The video, by the time this video's out, there should be a new merch drop. So we're gonna get right into it with Serps, get to know him, get loose a little bit with the 509 speed round.
Alright.
So you gotta answer as quick as you can, no delays. We'll see how it goes. I changed them up a little bit because Nate and Keith always do it. I made these ones.
Alright, perfect. Let's do it.
Okay. Favorite city you've ever been to?
Nashville.
Favorite food?
Steak.
If you were attacked by unlimited 10-year-olds that all worked out at NLPT, how many could you fend off using only a baseball bat?
Well, if they're working out at NLPT, 15? No, that might be a little high.
I don't know. McDavid or Crosby?
McDavid.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Favorite all-time movie?
Gotta be Step Brothers.
TV show you're watching right now?
Animal Kingdom.
Bauer or CCM?
CCM.
Who would play you in a movie?
Channing Tatum.
You're surrounded by people in a dance circle. They're chanting your name. What's your move?
Probably like a little wet, a little bit of, I don't know.
Favorite, since we're at NLPT, favorite lift or exercise?
Squatting probably.
Simpsons or Family Guy?
Family Guy for sure.
Green grapes or red grapes?
Red grapes, not a
There
question.
you go.
Not
A
even-
lot of people say green grapes.
No.
You'd be surprised, yeah. Favorite sport other than hockey?
Lacrosse.
What toothpaste do you use?
Crest.
And the final question is always, if you're at a dentist, what color toothbrush are you asking for?
Blue.
It's basically favorite color, but okay. So now we're done the speed round. We'll get into the real hockey. So,
Alright.
obviously, we're not gonna go with your hockey career yet. Obviously, we're in COVID. We're in COVID right now. We gotta stay apart.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest challenge for you on the ice and off the ice? Like mainly in getting better during COVID.
I think about now we're pretty good for that. I think in the beginning doing those Zoom call workouts were a little bit tough to begin with, just getting used to that, doing everything through the screen and like getting to know the workouts we were running through. I don't know, it was like I didn't find too much motivation when it was like just getting up and doing your workout in my basement, but I like that we're past that now, coming into here and working out with all the guys.
Yeah, that's actually my next thing. How better is it being in the actual gym?
I love it. I love coming in here just first thing in the morning, get a workout and feel good about yourself for the rest of the day, and especially now that we get to work out with all the guys and just kind of push each other, like it's a good environment to work out in.
And then just something unique that we don't ask many players is, what are you specifically doing this off season and that? We kind of ask people what their goals are, but
Yeah.
what are your specific things you want to get better off the ice and on the ice as well, obviously close to hockey?
I think my main focus right now and kind of always has been is putting on weight. I mean, that's kind of been my like biggest struggle. I feel like if I can come back heavier, a little bit stronger, then that'll do wonders for my game. So that's kind of the main focus here. Hoffer put together a pretty good program for me to chase after that. And then on the ice, I just need to get on as much as I can, I guess, and just keep the skills running and keep everything top shape and go into camp confident, and I think I should be good.
And then, so now we'll go into your hockey career, obviously, and you played with two key guys of our podcast, Walker McFarland, and
Yeah.
also many guys who are going to be on the podcast or who have been, like Kiki McMullen, Paula Freeman. What was it like growing up with that group? We all know you guys are really tight.
Yeah, I loved it. I was really sad when we moved on from minor hockey because those guys were kind of like my brothers. I was at the rink every day with them for years. But no, Cooper and Ben, those are two great guys. Like, couldn't find one bad thing to say about both of them. They both work really hard and they both have been really good friends for a long time. And like they came to Cambridge at a young age and they stuck through it. And I feel like in the beginning we weren't the best team, but by the end we worked really hard and we really had moved our way up, and I don't know, it was a great experience. Two great guys.
And then what was it like playing against those guys in the O this year, like McMullen, McFarland, Walker?
Yeah. it's pretty cool, you know, like you grow up playing with them, and now you got loads of fans, and it's kind of like a big show going on, and it's the same guys that you've been growing up with. It's a pretty cool thing, especially Coop and Ben on Guelph. Kitchener and Guelph have a little bit of a rivalry, always some bad blood when we play them, so it's kind of cool that they went to a team that we play. I think we play them 8 times a season, and yeah, it's pretty
That's
neat.
a lot.
Yeah.
So now we'll go into the legendary Scott Walker, and that's part of your minor hockey experience, obviously. And we were fortunate enough to have him on recently. I don't know if you saw that. And do you have any memorable moments from him, or what did you take away from him? Obviously, he taught us and our viewers so much on the podcast. But what did you take away from his experience?
I don't know. Honestly, it's probably a better question. What didn't I take away? Like, he was a guy that everyone looked up to, and we saw him every day at the rink, and he was a guy, like, you know that he's been where you are, and he's been through all the levels, so he was a good role model for other guys to just kind of, like, be a sponge and soak up as much as you could. Definitely taught us to work hard. Like, that was his, like, go-to thing. No matter what happens, you need to just go as hard as you can at practice and at games, and for a memorable moment, I think he was a really hard coach. Like, he was never easy on us, but I think that was a good way to, like, motivate us and really, because obviously if you're gonna go how far you want to go in hockey, like, you're gonna have to work hard, and you're gonna have to put in the work, and he taught us that at a young age. And I think a memorable moment, I can think of one time where we went to Toronto, and it was a big tournament. I can't remember which one, but we played Vaughan in the finals, and they were a really good team, and we had like 5 forwards left. Like, everybody was out, everyone was hurt, and we ended up winning the game. It either went to overtime, or it was like a 1-goal game, and it was like close in the end, and you could just tell, like, he was on his face, like, we won, and like after the game he told us he was really proud of us, and like he's a guy, like, you don't really get that out of him too much. So like when he told us that, like, it was a good feeling to, like, know that a guy like that, like, you worked hard and he was proud of you. It was a good feeling.
We decided to change up the angle, get a different angle of us. Obviously, Serps was a lot more close to the camera than I was, but I think this angle's a lot better, actually. I don't know, but
yeah, no, I agree 100%.
So we just went through minor hockey very briefly. Obviously, you guys obviously won the Alliance 2 in Major Bantam, but we want to get to why people really watch, and obviously, let's run us through your draft day experience before we even talk about it. What was your draft day experience like? We just had Romeo on and Uba, and they said, like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And what was it like for you?
You know, same thing as everybody else says. Like, it's a day that you look forward to, but you're also nervous for. Like, you really don't know what's gonna happen. Like, you could be going to Kitchener right beside your house, or like North Bay. Like, you just don't know. It's so up in the air. You talk to a bunch of teams, and like, no team wants to tell you where they want to pick you. Like, it's kind of like they're trying to hide everything, and then on that day, like, it's kind of like you just figure out. And like, I was really nervous going into it. Like, you don't know where you're gonna go, but once I got picked to Kitchener, like, that was, like, obviously for me, like, the best place where I could have went. Like, I live in like Dune, so like it's just around the corner. Like, my parents can come out to any of the games, my friends can come out. Like, it's a good, and obviously it's like a really good organization. Like, Kitchener is one of those organizations in the CHL that they have a really good reputation, a good track record, and they just do things really well. So I was really happy when my name got called to them.
What was the day like after? Obviously, I saw on Instagram, I think you went right to the rink, right? What was that like?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, like, right around the corner, they drafted me, and they called me, and they're like, what are you doing right now? I was like, trying to play cool. I was like, oh, nothing much, you know? Like, they're like, all right, do you want to, like, come down? And, like, so I put on my suit, went down, and I got my jersey, met everyone who was a part of the organization, got to see the drafting process, which was really cool. I never saw that before. How they had their big table, and they had all the prospects up on the board, and they kind of just go through it and talk about their next pick, and like, it was pretty cool. So I got to meet everyone there, and I don't know, it was a good feeling since day one. Like, they were really welcoming and excited to have me, and I was happy to be there. So
going into that first camp, obviously you're fairly high pick, 77th, right?
Yep.
So you're fairly high, you're going in, and obviously everyone wants to make the team, but what was really your mindset? Did you think you have a shot, or were they telling you anything? Did you know anything going in? What was your mindset?
Yeah,
like, non-even cocky or anything, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, they didn't tell me anything going into camp, and I don't know, my mindset was like, at that time I felt like it was just like I wanted to sign, I wanted to be a part of the team. Like, I didn't really expect to be playing that season, but like, if you go 4th round, I feel like that's kind of like you could play or you couldn't play. It's kind of like one of those like in the middle picks. So, but I knew going in, like I was really light, and like I knew it was gonna be tough to play junior, especially in like that level. So I went into camp and I played pretty good in the first camp, and I went back to main camp and they signed me and they told me I'd be in like games, but I wasn't gonna be there full season because I had to get used to like the bigger bodies, and that's why I went to the Siskins and then went on from there.
So you mentioned that, I didn't have the question, but how was that adjustment for you? Obviously, like, you're a fairly skinny guy and that's one of your goals, but how was that adjustment? How were you able to adjust to, especially in junior B, that's a really physical league. How were you able to adjust to that?
It was tough, you know. A lot of the moves and a lot of the stuff I used to pull in minor hockey didn't really work as well, because obviously you got big bodies, but you got guys who are playing junior hockey and they I feel like they take more pride in like shutting guys down. In minor hockey, it's kind of like you get by a guy, but like in junior, they kind of take it like more serious. They want to shut you down, and especially like the 16-year-olds, they're kind of like the young guys coming in who like are trying to go somewhere else. Like everyone just wants to hold them down, and it was tough in the beginning, but when you move on, you just gotta get used to like protecting the puck better, and if you're not strong enough to out battle guys, you kind of just gotta be that much smarter and think that much ahead to be able to make plays and get to the net. So I don't know, I learned that was a good league for me to like learn how to play with bigger bodies.
And obviously you got experience that maybe you wouldn't have got if you're playing half the games, not playing half the games in the OHL. And who were some of the guys on that team that was a really veteran team? Who were some of the guys on that team that really helped you out?
For Waterloo?
Yeah.
Oh man, we had really good vets that year. I had guys that they were really supportive. I had like vets coming in, like I didn't know, I was a younger guy, like really small, I didn't really know how I was fitting in, but I had vets that like would talk to me like about the junior experience, and kind of like when I wasn't playing, like just talk to me about like everything. Like they have probably two that come to mind, like Benton Hayes. I played with him, like when I played on the 4th line, he was with me, and like he was like a really like positive guy, and like he really helped me out a lot. And then in the playoffs, Alex Lysette was my line mate, and he had the best one-timer I've seen out there, and that was one thing I wanted to work on. So after practice every day, we'd be ripping 1-Ts for 30 minutes after like the morning practices, and I don't know, it was a really good environment, a lot of good vets that really helped me just put me in the right direction, keep me positive, and keep me trying to get better every day. It was good.
Yeah, it's a really important thing. Like, I know from personal experience, like it, like that, the older guy, especially at the start, who's like extra nice when they don't need to, makes such a difference. Going in and now looking back, like when I'm a vet, I like to picture myself as being the guy who's like extra nice, even though like even like when you're older, I feel like it doesn't really matter to you, but if you say like mix in like an extra like couple talks with a younger guy, like when I was younger, like that made like such a difference for me. It made me feel a lot more comfortable on the team. So and then before we jump into OHL, just run us through the playoff run. That was obviously crazy. It
was a long playoff run, that's for sure. And we went in like the year before I came to the Siskins, they lost to Listowel, and it was like a Game 7 1-goal game, and then Listowel went on to just smoke everyone. So, and then we didn't really lose a lot of guys. Like everyone had one more year of experience, so everyone was like hoping that was the year for them to go for it. And we went in, and like it was like everyone just dialed right in for playoffs, and like everyone knew like the year before it was kind of like a heartbreaking loss for them. So they came in and they worked, like everyone worked hard. Like it was like, I don't know, I feel like the team, like obviously they care, but like when we got to playoffs, it was like another level. And like we went through series after series, and like it was, I don't know, like
no, totally.
Like I don't know how to explain it. It was just special. It was a special thing. Everyone coming together, and we really bared down. We played some really good teams, and we had series going to Game 7, like really intense. And then obviously we topped it off the Game 7 winner, which was a wicked way to end it. Like everyone I think we had like 12 OAs, and it was like their last game of junior hockey, and it was just like you could tell for them it was such a big deal that they ended it off on Game 7 OT winner championship. Like,
What was your
a great
memory of that
cinema.
goal? That was my next question. Is what was your memory of that? You've seen 509 post about 1,000,000 times. So what was your?
I don't know. I feel like it was just kind of a play that was like kind of broken up. Like it just bounced off the boards, and then Tylee ripped it from the point, and it was kind of like a floater. I don't know if it tipped off somebody, but it floated in somehow. And then after that, it was just a big party for the rest of the week. Like it was a great time.
Awesome. So we gotta wrap it up now soon because we're getting our lift. So we'll hop into this most recent season in the OHL. And did you feel really prepared? Obviously, with that deep, like, nothing can teach you better than playoff experience for sure. I think, like I said, you said in whether it's whatever junior level, maybe not the OHL, but when you're not anything below the OHL, there are some guys who are working, right? There's people who are in university and they're there, but once playoffs hit, that's when you're seeing like their full.
Yeah.
So that playoffs, like,
yeah.
How prepared did you feel going into the season?
Well, yeah, going into the season when I went with Kitch for the first bit, it was kind of like I was straight out of minor hockey, and I was like kind of felt like a fish out of water. You know what I mean? Like a small guy playing in the O, and it was like my only experience was like the best hockey I was playing was like OHL Cup.
Yeah.
And then when I went to junior B and like I kind of worked my way up, like I started, and obviously it's hard to get minutes like when you have all those OAs on like on an old team that's supposed to be going for it. It was kind of tough, but like by the end, like playoffs is really where I started to excel. That's where I really like moved up in like the depth charts and started to put up a lot of points was in playoffs. And then like going into camp, the last game I played was Game 7 overtime, and like I was out there playing in overtime, and like that never would have happened before, but I worked my way up. Like I worked hard and kind of earned everyone's trust. So I was playing in the overtime. So I went from like, the way I saw it is like they told me to develop and get more confident. And when I came in, in the beginning I was playing minor hockey, and then by the end I was playing Game 7 overtime in the championship. And I just went in with like a new attitude, feeling a lot more confident, like ready to use all the skills that I learned there. And it was a good feeling, like knowing that I put in a year of work before exactly what they wanted me to do, and like I was ready to come in and like start playing full time. Yeah,
for sure. And then we asked this to every single OHL player, even the NHL players, we asked it for the NHL. And what was your welcome to the OHL moment? When was it a cool moment that you're like, wow, like, this is pretty cool, especially playing at the Odd every game?
Well, I think being around the Odd was like it's pretty cool, like especially coming out with right before the game started with the lights off and the music and the steam and all that stuff was pretty cool. I think it was my second or third game we played London, and that was the game that Evan Bouchard and Formenton got sent down from the NHL, and then I was out there and I went out there, and this was when I still had the fishbowl on. It was like the first year that I was there, and I remember like just like going to the net, like crashing the net hard, just trying to make it look like I was doing something good out there. And then Bouchard came down right from Edmonton. He grabbed my fishbowl and he goes like, this is a big boys league, like go back to junior B. And he grabbed my fishbowl and just ripped it off with one swipe. And then it was like him, Formenton, and Foodie. And like before the game, like I was looking up these guys, like were they drafted to the NHL, and like, and then they were right in my face, like ripped off my. I skated back to the bench with my thing sideways like that, and I remember sitting down and like they were telling me, oh, it's a big boys league, and like that's when I kind of got.
And you're a bit shook going to the bench.
I was pretty shook. Like I was researching these guys' stats, and now like they're shredding me. Like I was kind of like, holy shit! Like this guy just shredded me. Like I was like, he's kind of being like a.
Yeah,
you know, but
that's funny. That's a good story.
No, yeah,
we gotta clip that for sure. So then we kind of said the same thing for junior B, but we kind of need to zoom through this last season. And who were some of the guys that really stuck out to you? And obviously everyone sure was great, but on this first year on the Rangers, and even in their 16-year-old year in camp.
I think there's a lot of guys, like Damien, he was good, like the first year, like I said, like little things stick out. I remember we were playing in camp, and I guess he knew, like, they drafted me, and so he was, like, kind of, like, throughout camp, he was on the other team, but he was, like, giving me pointers, like, like after a shot, like, they got off, he tapped me, he's like, make sure you just pick up guys, and, like, that was kind of my first experience with that. But during the season, I think, like, Greg Morella's, like, he was, like, an OA, he's been there for 5 years, he was really good for just, like, kind of taking me under his wing and, like, really helping me out that way. And then, like, Justin McPherson, he was kind of like when we go to hotels, we get roomed with one guy and you're with him the whole year. And when I got put with him, I was kind of like, he was like a veteran D who like I never talked to, so I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. But I ended up having a really good relationship with him when I never really thought I would, because like, I was like a rookie forward, he was like a veteran D, and it just like we were like kind of on the different ends of the spectrum. But like we were together for every like hotel like road trip, and we got really close, and he became like one of my favorite vets to be around and like come to if I really needed anything. He was a really good guy.
That's awesome. So the last question before we obviously went pretty long, but what is the thing that you, other than put it on weight, what are some of the things that you are looking to do next season to be in a bigger role, obviously?
I think for me now, like putting in like a hard-working summer and then just coming back confident. Like this will be like my 3rd year as a part of the organization, and this is kind of like where I'm at the age where like you can really start to like make a big impact on the team and like take on a bigger role and play like special teams. And like I've been there for like, this is my 3rd year, so like I feel like I've earned the trust, and like you got to keep doing that, like show them that you put in a hard summer, and then from there on just, I don't know, keep your confidence up, and then just try and get a bigger role and I guess produce when you get the chance.
Yeah. Awesome. So thank you so much. It was great. It was a great live interview. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks for having me.
We're all rooting for you next year, and thanks for watching, everyone.
Perfect.